Hi, I'm Sarah Wolfe. I'm the Clean Energy Advocate here at VPIRG. I'm here to talk to you about strategic electrification. For over 100 years, fossil fuels have been a huge part of our lives and our society. Even though we know that fossil fuels are hurting us and our planet, we've struggled to reduce our dependency. But we haven't had many other options. Cutting fossil fuels out of our lives has been nearly impossible. That's changing, and it's changing quickly. Even though we don't know how to clean up our combustion fuels, we do know how to clean up our electricity. We've actually gotten pretty good at it. Right now, depending on your utility, anywhere from 55 to 100% of your electricity is from renewable sources. So when you can plug in your heater or your car, it's already mostly being powered by renewable electricity. And as the grid gets greener, everything that's plugged into it automatically gets greener too. Even better, these electrified devices, cold climate heat pumps, heat pump water heaters, and electric cars, are significantly more efficient than their dirty energy counterparts. That means electrification reduces total energy use overall, while significantly reducing fossil fuel consumption. But this doesn't just make sense for our environment, it's also good for our economy. Our dependence on fossil fuels currently siphons about $1 billion out of state every year. Getting off of fossil fuels is a great way to keep more of those dollars at work building our local economies. Kicking the fossil fuel habit is also more stable for you and your family. Electric rates are expected to increase over time, but they increase in a more predictable way than fossil fuel prices. By heating your home and getting around on electricity, you're shielded from price spikes due to natural disasters, fuel shortages, or other external pressures. So why is it called strategic electrification? This is where it gets a little more complicated, so stay with me. The strategic part refers to how these new electric products are integrated into the grid and when they use electricity. Every day there are peak times, hours where the most electricity is being consumed. Electricity is really expensive for the utilities at these peak times. And if we increase our electric use too much at those peak times, it puts a lot of extra stress on our poles and wires, the transmission and distribution system, which could result in expensive infrastructure projects. At other times, like, say, the middle of the night, electricity is really cheap and the grid is wide open because far fewer people need to use it. At those times, we're actually not using all those poles and wires that we have, but all electric utility customers are still paying for their upkeep. If we use more electricity during those low usage times, that spreads the cost of that system out more, which in time reduces what each consumer pays for electricity. So strategic electrification means doing what we can to ensure the cool new technologies we're plugging in use electricity at the cheap times, not the expensive times. For instance, electric vehicles are very frequently charged at night. That's really cost-effective for the utility because they're charged on cheap electricity and a wide open grid. And cost-effective for the utility translates into lower rates for you, the consumer, no matter whether or not you have that electric car yourself. So strategic electrification is good for the environment and good for our pocketbooks.